Okay guys, I am back and we're gonna keep working on this a little bit. I did work a little bit ahead on the cover part. I accidentally grabbed my gloss instead of my matte, so I'm not exactly happy with that, but it is what it is. So we'll just keep moving on. So obviously I had to spray this one. So I've decided kind of how I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna cut down the edges here. And this video is going to be in stages as well. I think I just said that. Anyways, I have to work tonight, and then I gotta go cut Bo's hair here in a few minutes. So, yeah, those of you that have been with me for a while know that I have my hair license too. So, yeah, my little happy group didn't have to wait for salons to open, which was pretty cool for them. So what I'm doing now is just kind of burnishing down my edges. I might have to take a little bit more. I don't know. My eyes are kind of bugging out today, so. And that's kind of still kind of tacky wet. So I'm just going to kind of, I just need to get a move on it. So even if it's just a little bit wet here and there, that's okay, because all the parts that matter are not going to get smudgy. So I'm just going to glue these down because I would like to have the cover done and being like hard set to dry by the time I have to leave this afternoon, which I have to leave about 4:15. It's a little after 2 now. So, you know, your girl's always busy, always doing something. So, yeah. Anyhow, I hope everybody is doing well. I think you're going to be seeing this on Saturday or Sunday. So, yeah, it's Tuesday here. But I'm having to record lots early so that I still have videos up. But yeah, I don't think it's going to probably slow down until after Christmas, I bet. So, I've got some big decisions coming up. So, I'm hoping to kind of get these projects done for the month. So, which means when it comes to comments, I might be a little scatterbrained. This afternoon, I'm going to try to get a few more comments answered. I'm trying to set a goal of like 30 a day, and it hasn't happened yet. For those of you who've been with me for a while, you'll know that Paul is over the road, and so most of the time during the week it's just me. So, and yes, the kids are older, but also, I mean, I do YouTube, I have the Etsy store, I work at my dad's trucking business, I do taxes on the side, and I do freelance hair cutting. So, is that all of them? Oh, and I DoorDash too. That's the newest thing. So your girl's always busy, but it takes busy to build an empire, right? And that's what I'm going for. Okay, so next, so you saw me do those. Now, originally, I was going to do on the inside, see, I don't need to be like this. The inside, I was going to slip this, which will be my spine support. I was going to slip it under, but like a goon, I got going too fast and didn't stop, which I think it'll still look okay. I think it'll still look cool because we're going to put brown fabric over the top, a little bit shorter. That piece right there, I cut at 3 inches, 3 by 9, and I scored at the 1 inch and then the 2 inch mark and left the inch in the middle. And then I'll show you how I'm gonna like reinforce it. I know lots of people use that Tyvek stuff. I've never used it. I've never had an issue with my journals like lasting, so I don't know. I mean, I think that's all kind of up to personal preference. Whatever you kind of think is going to work the best for you is what you should do. And like I said, I use cardstock to put them together, like the spines together. And then I usually use fabric to reinforce it all. Is it going to last 50 years? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so This is the side that's going up in the journal. So on the back side here, I'm going to take my 1 inch piece and I'm going to put glue right here. And I'm going to put it down in between those score marks, lining it up as best I can. And then I usually kind of bend this out a little bit, make sure it's kind of got it kind of where it needs to be. And I press it down here. Okay, now I tend to do one at a time. I'm going to line these up kind of with my marks here. Okay, and I'm going to kind of put those almost together. Actually, first I usually glue. I tend to be a little heavy-handed on the glue here, which doesn't always bode well. Okay, so then I'm going to go as close as I think I should, trying to line that up. I lay it over. I'm off a little bit, so I've got to slide it. Okay, press it down, and while it's still wet, I bring it up and make sure that I've got plenty of bend in there. See, you're still seeing that right there. Okay, so I like that. So I'm gonna take my bone folder, really spread out that glue. And if you get any out of your ends, that's fine. Just wipe it up. Okay, now I'm just get this over. Making sure if I have any glue on my mat, it's off. Okay, now I'm gonna put glue on this end. Okay, now make sure it's this side. Lay it down, bring this piece in, and this is going to be a little tricky on this one because we have the gears on the other side. So I'm just going to kind of lightly press it in there. Okay. Oops. Well, that doesn't bode well, does it? See, you get mistakes and all when you come with me. Okay, let's see if that will work a little better. Let's go a little more gently. I just make sure that it is kind of lined up there. Okay, looking good, looking good. I'm going to bring it back, put it down straight, bring in my bone folder. Okay. Have any smushed out glue. Okay. Now to finish off the inside here, I have somewhere in my little bundles of stuff, I have 2-inch pieces here. I'm going to try really hard to get them in the middle. Okay, and since it's a darker fabric, I'm going to switch from the Fabri-Tac over to the Aleene's because the Aleene's doesn't tend to show through fabric as well or as much. So personal preference, the darker the fabric, the more I'm going to lean towards Aleene's. Okay. Okay. Try to center that in the middle, what I think might be the middle. Again, this is kind of an eyeball job. Okay, now I'm going to kind of flip up what I didn't get glued down on this side here. And now I know kind of where it's going. Okay. Flip it around. Lift this side up. Okay, we go on that. Let's flip this bad boy over, and then we're gonna do what we're gonna do over here. Okay, now here comes the tricky part, since I kind of didn't get that other layer in. I'm gonna take my brown paper, and I actually apologize, I haven't cut it yet. It's my 9-inch, right? Okay, 9-inch, and I'm gonna cut it 9 by 2. And I didn't manage to get my big cutter back in here. Okay, let's just make sure. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is move this out of the way. Okay, so that should be 2 inches. So I'm going to score a 1/2 inch here. And at 1.5 inch here. Okay. I may need to trim that down a little bit. I don't know yet. We're just going to have to kind of see how the cards lay. Some of this literally is just guesswork on the part of putting it together, because you may end up having to adjust yours a little bit. Okay. Okay, taking my Fabri-Tac again. I'm going to really glue up that right there. Whew, I'm not even going to lie. It stinks bad in here from that spray paint, like the clear coat. Okay, really smooth it down. Okay, wipe out any excess there, which I don't think I really have any. Okay, now I think for all pretenses, I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to go around, because I think that will, oh, how about we do it without the cap on? Because I think that will actually stick to my, the clear coat. I find that sometimes Fabri-Tac doesn't stick to clear coats. I don't know if that's just me or... Okay, and I know I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Once we get these in here, do not bend this until it's dry. Like, do not try to move your cover and manipulate it back, okay? For a long time, I would bend and fold and, you know, just kind of make sure everything looked right. Well, then everything was looking kind of crazy, okay? So now I just don't. Now I just leave it. Lay that on its side so it can be, I should. Okay, now I'm going to take just a little bit bigger piece, because see how that barely fits without covering it. By the time it bends out, I'm worried that that cardstock's going to show. So this one was at 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do like 2 and a half, I think, because I think I could still get away with that. Oh, the boy's being pretty patient. I can hear him. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the gears up here, and I'm not crazy how the gears didn't come here. So I think in hindsight, I mean, obviously I'm not going to change it now, but in hindsight, if I ever do it again, it's still smushy. What is the drawback of not, oops, gross, using the Fabri-Tac for, you know, quick glue. I think in the long run it sticks better. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that better. Oh, I don't even think I said in the very beginning of the video. Hi, welcome back. Welcome to new subscribers. Welcome to the returning subscribers. Hope you're all doing well. I think sometimes I don't do it to be rude. It's one of those, I get so involved in what I'm doing that I just honestly forget sometimes, but always know I'm thinking of you guys, sending you guys virtual hugs. I have to trim that down. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it won't be a big deal. Yeah, okay. So now, and that won't show once it's dry. If it does, I'll take a little bit of the glue eraser to it. All right, so now we let it set, and I'm going to let it set, and then I will come back and splice the videos together, and we'll just move on. All right, guys, talk to you in a few minutes. Bye. Okay, guys, I am back. It's been a couple hours since we did this. So this is how it's looking so far. So, yep, it's pretty stiff, but the more he uses it, the more it'll break in, and it will become a little bit more soft like a regular book. So, we're going to work on the closure. And a few months ago, I got these cool buckles from Keisha. They're Ideology Tim Holtz buckles. And so we're going to try to make like a buckle closure. Again, I've never, ever used these. So we are just going to have a play at it. And so this is, I just made my own bias tape because it should go around here and be enough. And then we'll have to cut some off. So, so this was 2.5 inches wide. And then I pressed it in the middle. So I just basically made my own bias tape. So what you do is you take your iron, you fold it in half like so, iron it down, open it up, fold into the line, press it down, and then I always take and fold it in and fold it into the line like that. So that is how I made this piece right here, and then I just sew it on each side, okay? So then what I'm going to do is, this is how they come. A little tab here, a little circle here. I'm just going to insert it. I'm going to glue it, insert it here, okay? And then as I'm kind of holding it and the glue is on there, I'm going to go ahead and poke a hole in it. I am using the tacky glue so that it doesn't show through when dry, hopefully. So I'm going to kind of coat this side and the reverse side. And then stick it in the middle there, like so. Pinch it down. And I'm hoping that it's gonna just lay nicely. Glue down there. And then I can kind of see where that little hole was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my awl and I'm going to kind of poke in through there, only I'm going to watch out for my fingers. I'm just going to kind of get a hole started there, okay? Stick this in here like so. So it's going to kind of be double secured, I guess, okay? Okay. Now that that is set, really kind of squish down my glue there. Now what I'm going to do, set that up there, and I'm going to find the middle here. And if you have these tear rulers, these have a 0 right here in the middle. So I kind of already know that it's going to be around 4.5. That the middle is in. So I'm going to go ahead and take, so I can see it, I'm going to take my little white pen here and kind of just mark a little dab there. So then I know that that is the middle. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to get my E6000 out. And here in a minute, we'll have to stop again because we'll need the E6000 to dry. And I was telling you before that I got to go to work. So yeah. Anyways, I am going to take Fabri-Tac and E6000. Normally I would do hot glue gun, but for instant set, but I have found that when you have a clear coat on, the hot glue doesn't necessarily like to stick, okay? So then I'm going to kind of line up these right here with that mark there. And I think, I was trying to decide, I think I'm going to have it, this kind of hitting the edge. Because what I'm thinking is that, or maybe I'll offset it just a little bit, back just a little bit further maybe. Because I want it to be able to move and actually use it as a closure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put E6000 right in here, all the way to the metal, like you can kind of see where the metal ends in there. And I'm going to take a strip right there in the middle, okay? And then I'm going to take Fabri-Tac and go around the edges here, okay? The E6000, for those of you sensitive with smell and never used it, it does have a very pungent smell. Okay, so if you're sensitive, you get headaches, you might want to think twice about using E6000. I don't know that there's an alternative. Okay. Now I'm going to be careful not to go up to this bracket here because I still want it free moving, okay? And of course I want to be careful not to go too low. Okay, so that's about where I think I want it. Okay, I'm already kind of squishing out on glue, so. Okay, so what I'm kind of hoping is that the Fabri-Tac will hold this down long enough for that E6000 to set. Okay, well that's off just a little, so hopefully I scoot it down just a little bit. Okay. Okay, here's hoping that that works. Okay, now I'm going to sit here and hold it for a second. Actually, I'm going to grab my glue eraser. I was actually contemplating whether I should just glue this whole piece down. That would give it even more stability, wouldn't it? I think it probably would. But I want it to go over the top of the signature strings, if that makes any sense. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I think that will give us more stability with it. So I'm just going to take one line through here, right to the edge. Like so. Okay. We are going to call that good for this portion of the video. And then I will just see you back here in a few hours once I get back and everything is dry and seems concrete in there. Right? Because then we want to... I guess you know what we could do while we're waiting. If we're careful, we could mark out a couple of things here. Okay, so now I want to kind of mark them out a little bit, and I'm going to use my 1-inch marks there, but I think when I looked earlier, it's going to be better for me to use the bigger. So I was just going to see, is it better to do it at 1 inch with the like the circle, or is it going to be better for me to do... I think that'll still give me enough room. What do you think? I think it will. Okay, so I'm thinking that we need... I'm going to do 3 for now. And we can always add more if we think we need it. But what I was worried about is it being able to slip underneath this buckle piece here. Oh. That buckle piece there. I don't want it to get lost in there. Okay. I'm going to take my eyelet setter hole puncher and I'm going to try without destroying anything. Get it? I think the middle might be. Hopefully we're right. I'm going to take this one. Do about the same. Ho, ho, ho. Sometimes that fabric, when you use it for this thing, they like to get caught up in the thing. I'm going to carefully go over to the other side and change out my setters. All right, guys, wish me luck. It's kind of already set in stone, so. Okay, I might have to hammer that down just a little bit to make it a little more smooth. Okay. Got one more. That's a pretty color. I wish I'd seen that one because that one actually kind of matches that. Oh well. Oh yeah, I have quite a few of those. Oh well. Copper's copper, isn't it? Some more tarnished than the others. Maybe we can take a little bit of ink in there and tarnish them down a little bit. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at how cute this is. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I think I love it. I think I love it. Can we get away with putting it in for a second? Oh, I hope I don't regret this. Oh, look at that, guys. How cool is that? Yay, look at that. Okay, so then we might end up just finishing it. Like, I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it off. I might do, like, cut it in a V. There. Oh, I think I might end up gluing it to that one too. I don't know. I think what will determine it is we'll see how full the journal is once I get the signature in it. All right, guys, I'm actually think I'm going to call this one a video since we were able to get that kind of manipulated without letting it dry for too long. So the next video you'll see is we're going to be making some ephemera for this. When we come back, I'll already have the signature sewed in. We'll work on some pockets and we'll work on tags, that sort of thing. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. And if I didn't say it before, thank you all for coming. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope everybody is well and faring well. And we'll just talk to you soon. Bye, guys.